education. We'll be looking at even our military. We're looking at tremendous amounts of money, Peter, being spent on things that bear no relationship to anything and have no value. We're talking about trillions of dollars. It will be in the trillions of dollars being absolutely and perhaps illegally.
New Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth welcoming the budget.
And perhaps illegally. Perhaps illegally. You know, this is the interesting part. So this is how you know Trump is really perfected this like cult thing, cult leader type of thing, because his members, his followers don't even question him, right? So if there could be something going wrong in the books somewhere, right? Well, wouldn't that be Congress's business also? Why isn't the Republican Congress acting on Trump's suspicion? Why aren't they? You know, isn't that pretty interesting? You know, how can you actually have a president in your own party, the one that you cover up for every single time, the one that you voted for, even after he threatened to had a mob threatened to kill some of you? You know, he incited a mob which came to kill some congressional members and the vice president, according to them, right? And you know, they still move on with this guy. And now this guy says, hey, we suspect that there could be something wrong with the books, right? That's Congress's purse. Why doesn't Congress take the issue up? Why doesn't the Republican majority take the issue up? So I don't know who really believes that that's what's going on, because apparently the Republican Congress doesn't believe there's anything wrong, right? Because that would be right up their avenue and up the American people's avenue to want to know what's going on. You would find out through congressional hearings. But Trump is circumventing Congress, and Congress is not even pushing back. Well, at least not the majority of Congress. The majority of Congress is silent. They're silent on the matter.
Musk posting on X, quote, working with you on this, Elon Musk, need to cut the fat and grow the muscle. The incoming cuts to the education department, a big concern to Democratic lawmakers who had a standoff outside the agency's headquarters on Friday.
And this man is blocking the door. He says he's a federal employee. He will tell us who gave him permission to do this. All he knows is he's going to stand here and tell.
Now, imagine showing up to a federal office building, a federal office, a department of the federal government, which you pay taxes, income tax, to pay for. This is your money. This is your agency. These are your employees. Imagine showing up there and they not only are they not going to let you in, but they're not even going to tell you, right? They're not even going to tell you who, this man is not even going to tell them who told him to not let them in. What kind of charade is this? I mean, listen, there is no way that this is constitutional or legal. It's illegal. And if this turns out to be some sort of private employee, you know, person, either way is bad. If it's a person working for the federal government, then this whoever's in charge, that's why they want to know his name, because whoever's in charge is going to either be sued or investigated. They're going to be called. You know, it's not going to just disappear, right? And exactly, it's not going to disappear at all, because this man is now a witness to something himself. So and let alone the rest of the people out there demanding to come in.
The members who are elected, who vote for the funding, all of them in this building, and for the student loans, and for the Title I families, he's going to tell us that we can't come in.
Mar-a-Lago estate, President Trump firing back at Democrats.
The Democrats have lost their minds. They tried to break into the Department of Energy just because we want to go and check the books. And orders.
See that? Just because so you see how that doesn't, he just flipped that all around. They're trying to stop, he's trying to make it sound like they're trying to stop him from looking at the books. But he's not trying to have Congress look at the books. He hasn't told Congress to do any oversight. Not at all. Not at all. But yet he suspects something, but yet he doesn't want Congress involved.
Education
Sounds fishy.
just because we want to go and check the books. And Maxine Waters is a lunatic, and they're all lunatics, frankly.
Okay, is that what the world is saying? The world is not saying Maxine is a lunatic. The world, I mean, the allies of the U.S., they're saying Trump is a lunatic. The Mexican president is saying Trump is a lunatic. The Canadian president is saying Trump is a lunatic. The Greenlander, now I'm not going to say the Greenlander because I don't want to. They're already in a tight situation, but I'm not going to say the U.S. Virgin Islands either. I'm going to leave them out of it and let them be, speak for themselves. But the EU thinks Trump's a lunatic. The UK thinks Trump's a lunatic. I mean, really, everybody thinks Trump is a lunatic. You know what I'm saying? I mean, on the real. But I'm just curious about, what do people want with Elon Musk? I mean, do they want him, becoming the defense contractor, building robots so they can come and take your job or push you around, not let you into any office buildings, not let you into any banks? What do you want Elon Musk to do for you, people living in the red states? Do you think Elon Musk gives a damn about you? He's the richest man in the world. He could help all of you. He could help just the red states if he wants to, and that would be even better, and your life will be changed forever. But will he ever do that? Hell no. Because you are in a different class than him. You are the lower class.
Elon Musk also facing scrutiny over the Doge team that he's hired. We've seen reports come out about their prior businesses and online activity. So far, a 19-year-old he started a company that hired convicted hackers, and Wired reports out their prior businesses and online activity. So far, a 19-year-old Doge member he started a company that hired convicted hackers.
19-year-old Doge member, 19-year-old in there with Elon Musk in the Treasury Department, started a business for hackers.
And why we've seen reports come out about their prior businesses and activities. So far, a 19-year-old Doge member he started a company that hired convicted hackers.
People need to know who that 19-year-old, what that 19-year-old's name is. Who is he? Who's that 19-year-old? Let me.
And Wired reports that company has at least 2 Russian registered domains. Now, another Doge staffer reposted comments from white nationalists.
Right, exactly. It has 2 Russian domains. Exactly. Well, look, the dude, they're already hackers. Come on. Elon Musk, they're not following the law, right? And, they could say that the president is allowing this, but that, in his case, is not a sign of a crime not being committed. If Trump says he's okay with it, crimes have happened under Trump's watch already. So you could assume a crime is happening here, unless, what would the argument be in a court to assume that no crime is happening? What would the argument be?
Misogynist on social media, and a third staffer resigned after racist posts were made public. But
you hear this? He got racist people, hackers, and
reports the company has at least 2 Russian registered domains. Now, another Doge staffer reposted comments from white nationalists and misogynists on social media, and
white nationalists and misogynists on social media.
Third staffer resigned after past posts were made public. But Musk says that he plans to rehire the 25-year-old. So that's going to be something.
So they're going to rehire the one that was kicked out for fascist and misogynist post, right?
To watch out here in Washington.
Yeah, absolutely. One of many things to watch. Libby Dean live at the White House. Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, this is totally totally ridiculous. Uh, I really, I'm at a loss for words, but I'm just curious, like how what's going to happen with this? Because I don't see how things are going to get any better with this kind of stuff happening. These are flagrant violations. This is just like a lynching happening, and the police telling you, "Oh, nah, the person just we think they killed themselves on with a rope hanging on a tree." You know, so this is similar with this type of activity. Just yeah, fascist. That's what it's like when you come across fascist, yeah. But in any case, let me pull this one down and see what else we got here. Pull this up. So this, boom, this. Here we go. Boom. Hmm. Facts, because at least you got a job. Oh, wait a second. You said you can't hear the video? Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Let me see. Why is that? All right, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna pull it up. Let me see. Sorry about that. Let me see here. Boom. Pull this out. Can you see this? Yeah, y'all can see this. Okay. Okay, let me see here. Yeah, this is he's talking about, here we go, right here. Let's see.
Supreme Court justices participated in swearing-ins of that sort before? Yes. However, no president. Well, today, Donald Trump called Elon Musk a liar. He couldn't do it himself. He couldn't do it himself because he's afraid of Elon Musk. So you will be surprised to discover how far down the chain of command Donald Trump had to go to find someone to call Elon Musk a liar. And that happened on a day.
So look, he's saying, who's checking for Elon Musk? Who knows what he's doing? Where's the accountability? Where are the records of his activities, right? And Elon Musk, since he's beholden to China because of his Tesla cars, that's who makes it. It's made out of China, right? He's beholden to them, essentially. Why would you want a person that's beholden to China, right, having access to all your sensitive information, not only just information, the data, but the vault where the data lies itself? Would you want that? Is that how that should be handled? And it's just something for people to think about, and it's not something for people to just sit around and be calm about. It's like, it's obviously the answer is hell no. That's exactly the opposite of what you
When
would
Clarence
want.
Thomas decided to disgrace himself publicly once again by going to the Oval Office to the swearing in of Donald Trump's Attorney General, Pam Bondi. Now, have Supreme Court justices participated in swearing-ins of that sort before? Yes. However, no president of the United States in his first week in office decided by his own hand to write out a provision of the United States Constitution, to simply write out, cross it out, birthright citizenship. Clarence Thomas knows that all the litigation that will come from that is coming to him. Clarence Thomas knows that the Oval Office he walked into today houses a president who believes he can simply strike lines from the Constitution. Clarence Thomas knows that the Justice Department that Pam Bondi will be running will be defending that action in the United States Supreme Court. He knew he went into a room of Supreme Court litigants today where he should not have been. But Clarence Thomas apparently believes there is no depth of disgrace that he cannot willingly fault to for Donald Trump. And so he added that disgrace to his public record today. And today, the 16th day of the Trump presidency, Donald Trump called Elon Musk a liar in writing. Donald Trump didn't do it himself because he's no doubt counting on Elon Musk to take care of many of his personal debts, including the $83 million that he owes to E. Jean Carroll for her successful lawsuit against him, and the $500 million he owes to the state of New York because of Attorney General Letitia James' successful lawsuit.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason for Donald Trump to be in the White House, I mean, the main reason is for him to line his pockets. But for him to line his pockets, he needs protection For him to walk out of this unscathed, he needs protection. He's not alone. Donald Trump has handlers basically at this point. So he's the guy that got elected, and everybody else is going to play the back. And they're going to walk him through this day by day, the billionaires. And, it's just $1 trillion. Do people have $1 trillion? Do you want $1 trillion of your tax dollars going into these billionaires' pockets? Like, straight up, most of them pay no taxes, not on their businesses. That's how they're getting around the tax code, you see. And the people, 60% of this money is coming from the people, their income taxes, federal government. That's right, 350 million people. What, 200 million, 70, 100 million, 120 million, 150 million, 200. I don't know how many of those pay into it, but it's a lot, obviously. And they're walking around here like this is not your money anymore. This is not your country. This is not something that these are not your employees. This is not the system you pay for. This is not the system that you use to protect your rights, to uphold your rights, to expand your rights. Right now, they're becoming the prey, the hunter, the one taking and stealing like you have no right to say no. That hasn't been heard of in the States in a long, long time. And I would even say, if this doesn't get straightened out very fast, this is basically a civil rights movement era. This is like you're in the midst of a civil rights era, because they just rolled back so much stuff. I mean, this is a greater attack than the only thing that can make this maybe the only thing that's missing right now is the physical aspect of it. But how long do you think it's going to take these folks before they try to get physical? You know what I'm saying? Like, how long do you think you can? Yeah, good. How long? What's up, Donnie? Yeah, holla Andrea at Things Worth Knowing and Bev. Yo, how long do you think it's going to take before you're going to start seeing some crazy little, murders, terrorists, these cowardly acts start spiking? Last time Trump was in office, hate crimes spiked, murders spiked, crime spiked, deadly crime spiked. Let's see.
Against him. So when the day came that the Trump team had to call him on liar publicly and in writing, who was the brave Republican who stepped forward and said, boss, I'll do it? It wasn't any of the cabinet members who have already been confirmed by the Senate. The person who got the assignment today in the Trump administration to call Elon Musk a liar publicly is Jonathan Blum. He's a former lobbyist for the banking industry and is now a political appointee at Treasury Department, where he worked during the first Trump presidency. He has a mid-level job with the title Principal Deputy Assistant Secretary in the Office of Legislative Affairs. What that translates to is he is a lobbyist for the Treasury Department, a lobbyist with Congress. Working on legislative affairs in the Treasury Department means that he has to keep in occasional touch with the Senate Finance Committee staff and the House Ways and Means Committee staff on legislative matters involving the Treasury. Absolutely nothing meaningful happens at Jonathan Blum's level of the Treasury. He might not even get to speak to the chief of staff of the Senate Finance Committee, just the lower ranking staff. Anything of significance that the Treasury Department needs to say to the Senate Finance Committee is said by the Treasury Secretary. And so when Senator Ron Wyden, who has served as chairman of the Senate Finance Committee and now in the minority serves as the top Democrat on the Senate Finance Committee, which is still a very powerful position in a committee which has jurisdiction over the United States Treasury, when he writes to the Treasury Secretary is supposed to respond. Senator Ron Wyden wrote a letter of complaint to the
The
Treasury
Treasury,
Secretary about Elon Musk.
the Treasury Secretary is supposed to respond, and guess who pays for the Treasury Secretary's salary? Every working American that pays federal income tax pays for that person's salary. And for them to not write back means you paid them for nothing. They didn't even have the decency to write back, because anything that they're writing back is on behalf of the people, paid for by the people. Even when they sit there on their ass and do nothing, that's paid for. The chair and everything by the people, the desk, the phone, right? And that's what they're getting with this. They're like, we're not responding. Yo, that is really that right there. That right there is the beginning of the end. Because if you can do this, then obviously, do you know how far this is going to go? This type of tactic is going to go. It's going to spread, because it's sending a signal to even states to do the same thing. Hey, we can violate people's rights. What will they do? What will people do? What will people really do? Federal government can start off violating the rights. The federal government's not going to stop any state from violating citizens' rights. That's what's going on right now. They're it's like they're metamorphosing into this thing. People should not underestimate this. I write regarding disturbing reports that officials associated with Elon Musk and the so-called U.S. Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, I call it doggy. What the hell? I'm not even going to honor the sound of that dumb shit. But doggy attempted to gain access to systems that control payments to millions of American citizens. If they can hack this, who do you think is going to have to pay for the whole system to be redone? Can you even trust that it will be done right? Are they supposed to do coding into the system, the programming? They just walked hackers into the Treasury. I mean, they got caught red-handed. And are they going to go to jail? Are they going to serve time? Are they going to be, have military justice? Like, this is not something that is just to be taken so lightly. If they can do this, and they're permitted to do this, and they definitely tried it. So you're dealing with some people that are going to try it some more. They're going to try it and try it and try it until they see that American people are not going for it. And to the people out there that's like criticizing the Democratic Party, where are you? Bring your ass out there in the wintertime in front of the courts. Where are you? This is also your life. Like, straight up. Do you understand how many countries people would be up in arms over this? Like, seriously, you see people get up in arms over France just over the retirement age being changed. What you talking about? American citizens pay way too much tax to be playing around with this. That's not a little bit of tax. That's not like getting, some mistakes here and there. That's like called getting screwed. Like, seriously. And then to have this is like a slap in the face.
Taking control of the United States, taking control of the actual payment mechanisms in the United States Treasury, something the Treasury Secretary has ever actually seized control of. Senator Wyden got a reply letter today that the Treasury Secretary himself, Scott Bessent, who should be impeached and won't be for allowing Elon Musk to violate the integrity and security of the United States Treasury.
Won't be, because Congress ain't doing nothing. The Senate ain't doing nothing. Majority Senate, Republican. Majority Congress, Republican. They can do anything they want, and they don't want none of this. They don't want any congressional oversight. They don't want any, they don't want to have any influence over this matter, right? They want, they're going to allow Donald Trump free reign, and Elon Musk, and anything that they are attached to, Russia, China, anything else, and their pockets, their bank accounts, their foreign bank accounts that are probably in China, probably in Russia, obviously, right? Because where else are they going to go that won't expect some kind of trouble, right? So this is really like a heist, a really like a stick up. It's like really like stick your hands up, and they are going to take some of the money, which is sad. It's actually sad. You know, it's no good unless you got thick pockets, unless you been live good enough. You got free energy to waste. You have free sweat to give people. Maybe that's the case. Who knows?
Was afraid to sign. Treasury Secretary was afraid to sign this letter. The letter, Elon Musk's band of unnamed computer operators, quote, will have read-only access to the coded data of the Fiscal Services Payment System.
That's a slap in the face. Read only. Right. So hackers can't do anything with read only. That's the dumbest thing that anyone could ever tell someone. They're only going to have read only access. Well, you're showing them the code. That is just asinine. But these are the excuses because, listen, you say this stuff when you think people are stupid. Those are the kind of messages you send out. The messages that only work for stupid people, right? And of course, why would you risk that? Because for this to work, there would have to be a whole lot of stupid people, right? Well, apparently, because for me, I don't even understand. Like I said before, I don't even understand what all the guns are for. What's all the guns for if it's not for defending democracy? Like, what are they for? Because the laws are defending you. They're supposed to be defending you. So why wouldn't people want to defend the law? That's what it comes down to. Do you want laws? I don't know.
Read-only access? Really? Does Elon Musk seem like a read-only you? Does Elon Musk seem like someone who would accept read-only access?
Yeah. He's an engineer, you know what I'm saying? Not really himself, but he employs software engineers, you know what I'm saying? Hackers and all of that. Hey, just give him the read. It's a read only. You only have access to read only. Yo, they're telling you they have committed a crime against the American people, and this dude thinks Americans are going to stand for it. He thinks Americans are going to stand for it. And I got to tell you, with all those guns in America, with all those guns, I really am having a loss for understanding what those are for. Because they're definitely not for speaking truth to power. Anybody can shoot across the aisle at somebody in their same pay grade, same neighborhood. This is not good.
Or someone who wants his hands-on controls. Elon Musk says he has much more than read-only access. Last weekend, when we first learned of Musk's raid on the United States Treasury, where he was seizing the controls after a Treasury official was removed from his job on Friday by the Treasury Secretary so that Musk could do whatever he wanted to do. Elon Musk wrote at 1:52 a.m. on Saturday that he, quote, discovered, among other things, that payment approval officers at Treasury were instructed always to approve payments, even to known fraudulent or terrorist groups.
That's bullshit.
Is, of course, a deeply pathological lie by someone whose commitment to public lying is as consistent and strong as Donald Trump's.
Yeah, that's just cold, straight up disinformation. That is anti-American disinformation. That's Russian disinformation. That's the whole get up, selling you this deep state thing. So somebody have to go in and find the deep state, except they are the deep state that's going to raid the coffers, the Jedi mind trick, and yes, people fell for it. The Jedi mind trick. The Democrats didn't, though. They're the victims and others, but the people that voted for Trump, you're not really just victims. What you need to be doing is getting up there and correcting your wrong, your error, your mistake. That's what you need to be doing. And because you have just destroyed, put your families at risk. Yes, for the richest man on earth who doesn't give a rat's ass about you or anybody like you. That's what's going on. You are not good enough to have decent, affordable housing. You are not good enough to have decent, affordable health care. You are not good enough to have access to quality education, higher education. You're not good enough for that. You have to run longer than other people to get that. That's what you are expected to do. And then you get a slap in your face and they go and take your money. I mean, that is working harder for less, a lot less. But in any case, this is not the only. This dude, oh my God, Lawrence is going to eat this guy out for days. Lawrence is on there every damn night, and he's got words for Trump every damn day. But look, this is the Australian leader. Check this out on the Midas Touch. Look.
Into fascism that's currently happening in the United States, you are simply not paying attention.
So that's now the Aussies.
Donald Trump has appointed Nazi-saluting billionaire Elon Musk to take a hatchet to public services.
The Irish.
Yesterday, we witnessed the inauguration of a man whose ideology embodies everything the EU was founded to reject. Europe must resist because our history demands it.
My homeland of the Scots.
The First Minister offered congratulations to the convicted felon Donald Trump on his re-election.
All vehemently opposing Trump as he embarks on his quest to make US more respected around the world again.
He did the mandating it. The vaccine went out, mandated on the vaccine, which is the thing that people most object to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor
What the hell does he did a mandate on it? What the hell does that
job.
mean?
It's more respected around the world again.
He did the mandate, which is a disaster, mandating it. The vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is
What does he mean? What's he talking about?
the thing that people most objected to about the vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor job. And I will tell you, not only poor there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States.
So how come they never said that about Joe Biden? And why are all of them saying Donald Trump ain't shit? And also the EU were lucky because they saw Elon Musk coming a mile away and they just like fuck his ass and banned him and told what kind of dirt he was trying to do.
States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done. We've become like a third world nation.
President Trump is a disaster for humanity. He belongs behind bars, not in the Oval Office.
After Trump's recent press in which he expanded on his outlook for the future of American foreign policy, that outlook.
He said he is a disaster for humanity. He said for humanity. That is just
third world nation.
President Trump is a disaster for humanity. He belongs behind bars.
a disaster to humanity. He belongs behind bars.
Not in the Oval Office.
When they start saying he's a disaster to humanity, those are basically the strongest words you can make. Those are the strongest words you can make. You can't make stronger words than that. That is just it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. But this is what the world is saying about Trump. And don't think that, you don't expect Putin and Beijing to chime in much, because you know why they won't? Because they don't want any attention drawn to them, because they got the inside scoop, see, through Elon Musk and Trump. So they know exactly what's going on inside of the White House. You could be sure of that. You know exactly what they know exactly. China and Russia know exactly what Elon Musk is up to. They definitely do. And who knows? Maybe some others, because there's bound to be spies from many countries now with their ears open, trying to figure out what's going on. You see what I mean? So, and I guess CNN, I'm not dissing these news agencies, but I don't see any of them breaking the big story. I don't see them breaking stories like that. And we don't have investigative journalism like that anymore in the USA. All of that has been forbidden. The only thing the main game right now, outside of the Midas Touch and the Black Star Network, right? Black Star Network and the Midas Touch. I mean, those are two, they booming with the information. The rest of just corporate media is like, they're not going to break the stories for the world. The EU may even get information before even some American people. Like, I hate to say that, but they may, because they see the threat. They've been threatened themselves by Trump. So they're paying close attention to what the American people are doing. And American people need to know that, it might look like a regular day to you, but people are watching. The whole world is watching to see if American citizens are going to let their civil rights, their constitutional rights, be trampled on. That's what they're watching, because they call it fascist authoritarian. That means the democracy, the voting has broken down, the voting system. That means people, the powers in the states and on the federal government, they're not counting the votes very well. That means a third of the population, for some reason, is not voting, and then some more just come up missing, or not validated. Many votes, millions of votes, millions, 4 millions, something like that. I mean, that's a lot of not voting. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna pull that up. But let me just, because maybe a lot of people don't know how many Americans don't vote. Let's see. Let's hear what he got to say.
Recent presser in which he expanded on his outlook for the future of American foreign policy, that outlook running completely effing contrary to the end of American interventionism that he and his campaign falsely touted during his run for president. And pledged with a full chest, like he was talking about a new building in Manhattan, that the US would just take over the Gaza Strip.
Peter?
Would Palestinians have the right to return to Gaza if they left while the rebuilding was happening?
It would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the meanest, toughest places.
Look, now check this out. What the hell is Trump talking about? Why would they want to leave? Look into this. This is
But they wouldn't want,
ridiculous.
it would be my,
Would just take over the Gaza Strip.
Peter,
Would Palestinians have the right to return to Gaza if they left while the rebuilding was happening?
it would be my hope that we could do something really nice, really good, where they wouldn't want to return. Why would they want to return? The place has been hell. It's been one of the mean.
Why would they want to return? You know, I think people are having a hard time you wanting to believe that he means exactly what he just said, but who knows what he's going to try to do, but he does mean what he said. The sentiment behind his words are that of ethnic cleansing. He doesn't have a problem with that. And for the prime minister of Israel, he has screwed over Israelis. You know, and that's not a good thing for peace. Allowing this man to, first of all, he's supposed to be you know, a person that understands that the Holocaust is very serious. So any person that takes the Holocaust serious, obviously you don't want to have anything to do with anything like a Holocaust, because after all, that's one of the things that people respect about you know, about the people who, you know, this is why Israel was able to be founded as a state out of that respect for the Holocaust, primarily garnishing um, empathy from people. And then you have a prime minister that's going to let the president of any president of the United States talk this way. And then second of all, think about this, y'all. Think about the implications for the American people. Think about what Netanyahu said. He praised Trump. He was like, Trump was the best friend that he ever had, you know, to Israel, that Israel's ever had. Well, you're going to say that while Trump, right after Trump just talked about taking over Gaza and building resorts there, right? And people are calling it ethnic cleansing. Yo, this is extraordinary, and this is not a good sign for people. I think Netanyahu, the support that he did get from Democrats, I think he just lost it right there. He may have lost that. And when you lose support from Democrats, that's not good, because other people watch. Every other nation is watching Netanyahu. And people are not liking what they're seeing. A lot of these European nations, they're watching, and people are not liking what they're seeing. They've been a good friend to Israel, but people are not liking this because your policy makes them look like damn fools. Your Netanyahu's policy makes a big population of the EU and the US look like maybe they made a mistake supporting you. And only Netanyahu could do that himself. You know, so, you know, it's not Trump that's really doing that. People know Trump is wacky, but when you have another president sitting right next to him, another leader sitting right next to him, that's saying things that are racist, right, genocidal, right, he's talking about, I mean, he is talking about ethnic cleansing. He may not know it, he may not acknowledge it, he may not admit it. Doesn't even matter. We're talking about human rights. They have laws. These things are written in detail what they are. They are from that, you know. But let's listen.
One of the meanest, toughest places on earth. And right now, it's I've seen every picture from every angle, better than if I were there. And nobody can live there. You can't live there. If we can build them through massive amounts of money supplied by other people, very rich nations.
A massive amount of money. You see, you hear that? So what's up, Republican red states? Can you feed yourselves? Because Trump is about to spend money building up Gaza. You know, he's going to spend all that time and energy. Not that the red states are broke or poor. Not that y'all need really help. Not that you can't afford eggs. Not that you're having problems with heat. Not that you're having problems with anything. No. You haven't worked that hard to deserve this man's immediate attention. You know, no. He don't have no rollout plan for Republican. You know what he got for Republican states? You're not going to teach DEI. That's what he got for y'all. You can't eat that though. You can't take that to the bank and spend it. You can't take that no DEI shit to Walmart and buy something. It's not going to pay your electrical bill, right? It's not going to bring your electrical bill down. It's not going to bring your heating bill down. It's not going to bring your taxes down. What he's talking about, it's going to bring it. It's going to bring it up worse than what it was. I mean, what do you want to do? You want to give the Israelis the bombs and you want to pay for the construction? I mean, what the hell? Yo, that's not a good deal. How about not, first of all, how about not destroy every damn thing just because somebody's shooting some rockets at you? Be more precise with your weapons, right? Or find another way. But this is not the way. Sitting there with a man who's suggesting what he is suggesting, you only fueled the extremists, the more extreme parts of that society, of the Arab world. You've only exacerbated the problem. And at a time where you are losing, Israel is losing empathy from people, like straight up. Netanyahu fumbled the ball. And he deserves to, you need to say that to him so you can get a new prime minister that has a different approach to peace. Because Netanyahu's approach to peace is not looking that good. Also, you supporting fascist shit. Us in America, we don't like fascist Netanyahu. Like, you just crossed the line. I mean, really, like, Netanyahu is not looking good in to regard. Americans are not looking, they're not too happy about this. They're not too happy about this. But Trump, he's supposed to be making the situation better. He's not doing a damn thing to make the situation better. Trump's making the situation worse. Way worse. I wonder how many trillions. But look, let me just go over to one factor here that I thought about here. And because I wanted to know. I wanted to ask a question. And the question is, what percentage of Americans don't vote and for what reasons? So I just want people to check this out too. Now check this out. The percentage of Americans that don't vote. Voter turnout in the United States varies by election, but a significant portion of eligible voters often abstain. For instance, in 2020 presidential election, approximately 66% of the voting eligible population cast a ballot, meaning 34% did not participate. In 2024 election, nearly 90 million eligible Americans did not vote, a number exceeding the votes received by either major candidates. Oh, damn. The reason for non-participation are multifaceted. Disillusionment with politics. Many individuals feel that their vote doesn't make a difference or are dissatisfied with the political system. Systemic barriers, challenges such as complex registration processes, limited access to polling at places, voter ID laws can deter participation. Yes, that can. Lack of information. Some potential voters are not well informed about the candidates or issues. Yeah, we saw that. We saw people just like voting for the first time, like, damn, I voted for Trump the first time I voted. I'll never vote again. But it ain't going to cut it. You got to do something, player. You voted for Trump. You got to help now. You got to fix things instead of continue down that negative path. Lack of information. Some potential voters are not well informed about the candidates or issues, leading to the disengagement. apathy. A segment of the population is indifferent to political outcomes and chooses not to engage in electoral process. Logistical challenges, issues like work schedules, transportation difficulties, or health problems. Right. Okay, we know that. So that was how many million people did they say? 90 million people did not vote. Let me see. That is a lot of people, but yeah, that's way too many people, y'all. And that's like enough people for another candidate, essentially. Yeah, but so you see, when you don't have that many people voting, you really need to vote wisely.
And they're willing to supply it. If we can build something for them in one of the countries, and it could be Jordan, it could be Egypt, it could be other countries, and you could build 4 or 5 or 6 areas. It doesn't have to be one area, but you take certain areas and you build really good quality housing, like a beautiful town, like someplace where they can live and not die, because Gaza is a guarantee that they're going to end up dying. The same thing's going to happen again. It's happened over and over again, and it's going to happen again as sure as you're standing there, Peter. So I hope that we could do something where they wouldn't want to go back. Who would want to go back?
Look, what about go back to your own country? I mean, whatever happened to that? These are the same people that say that all the time. They in the U.S. talking about go back to your own country, and this dude Trump is talking about kicking people out of their own country. This is really, really, really not looking good. Denise says unstable, not a good feeling, and not a good look for us. It's not a good look for us at all. It is unstable. It's not a good feeling. I mean, I don't know. I'll put it to you this way. I'd rather not feel good about what's happening right now than to feel good about what's happening right now. Because in my mind, if you can feel good about what's happening right now, then you're not prepared for what's happening right now. That would be the first mistake. Feeling good about what's happening right now. Anything bad can happen after this, and I'm not even talking about the Israeli stuff. I'm talking about inside of the United States of America. Anything bad can happen right now because there is no law. There's just a federal government acting like a militia, operating like a militia, a right-wing militia, essentially because they're not following the Constitution. They're turning it, this stuff. I don't want to scare people, but I know I know I can't be alone in this kind of feeling that I'm having. I know I can't be alone because this is just inalienable, to everyone. We have certain freedoms, and these people are trampling on the freedoms, attempting to, like, openly, right in your face, but and this is really unprecedented. This shit here with Netanyahu and Trump. Let me play.
So it's nothing but death and destruction.
And as a result, many world leaders spoke out against the president, some more unapologetic than others. Take, for instance, Senator leader in Australia, Nick McKim, who not only vehemently condemned the president, but called for urgent action to, quote, stop Trump-style politics coming to Australia.
Let me say something here. There was actually there's a rep, or a Democratic rep, Al Green, I think, from Texas, that actually gave a really great speech about Netanyahu. I'm gonna rock that one, Tony.
The fascism that's currently
the president, but Australia,
the United States, you are simply not paying attention. At Donald Trump's inauguration, as the billionaire oligarchs lined up to pay their obeisance, the biggest of them all, the most highest profile of them all, the person with probably the biggest social media reach in the world, in part because he owns one of the biggest social media platforms in the world. Elon Musk literally gave a...
Hey, well, listen, Chris, I don't know. You talking about none of what I'm saying. You're not talking about what I'm saying, apparently, because you're talking about what a whole lot of people is saying is not happening. That's what you're talking about, because I'm not saying too much different from what a lot of people are saying, including let's start. Are you a Republican? Are you an independent? What are you, Chris? What state are you from, Chris? What country are you from? And let me drop the link, because uh anybody that wants to come up here and say that, you know, I'll give you some credit. Come up here, hop up on here and tell me none of what I'm saying is happening, so I can play you it. I'll play it to you in real time, other people saying it's happening. So I don't know what your point is, but to start off like that with the old Jedi mind trick, you out of your damn mind. That's not going to work with me. Okay, I take my life way too serious and my rights way too serious. But not only just my rights, my life, my actual real life. If you think paying the taxes that you pay as an American citizen, if you think you get anywhere near what the rest of the people in any Western country get for that kind of money, you're a dumbass. So you already started off with a loss before you even have these problems. You see, you already started off as the bamboozled. So I hope none of what I'm happening is saying, but a lot of what I've been saying is actually happening and is really true, you know? And I hate to say these things. But they are true. And guess who else is saying it? I mean, the whole damn world is saying it. The world is looking at the U.S. The allies are saying something is very wrong in the U.S., and that problem is going to be a problem for us. And the rest of the world that used to be the people you used to, the people that's Trump's calling third world and all that, oh, they're laughing at the U.S. right now. China is laughing. Russia is laughing. And the United States is showing weakness. And when you show weakness, you are more vulnerable to attack. But look, nobody's in a hurry, because they got 4 years for this troll to do anything he wants until Americans like you grow some balls. Because if this was anywhere half of this, anywhere close happening in any of these European countries, they would be hitting the streets, and they already have. They hit the streets about smaller stuff. You see what I'm saying? People aren't playing with their rights. They kicked out Elon Musk. That's for real. You have Elon Musk. You're stuck with Elon Musk. Chris, you don't even have rights. Elon Musk has more right than you as a human being right now. You should be offended. You should be royally offended.
Nazi salute at the president's inauguration. And for people who try to argue that it wasn't actually a Nazi salute, I'll say this. If you're one of the highest profile people in the world and a massive global debate erupts about whether or not you gave a Nazi salute, and you don't come out and say it wasn't a Nazi salute, then it was a Nazi salute.
Exactly.
It was a Nazi salute.
Exactly. Elon Musk never said it wasn't a Nazi salute. Nobody's he spends all that time on Twitter. He never said it wasn't. And you know why? Because he knows dumbasses fall for that stuff. He knows single issue voters fall for that. He knows he can manipulate simple, myopic people's minds just by doing a Nazi salute. Not saying he doesn't mean it, but he knows the power of doing it, because he knows a lot of you will settle for the power of just being a little Nazi. You will settle for that while he robs your grandmother, while he robs your daughter. He knows you all are that stupid, so don't be so fast to feel good about it, because he's only doing it because he knows you're dumb enough to fall for it. He knows you're so stupid. You feel good when you hate somebody. You don't feel good when you got access to education. You feel good when you hate somebody. You don't feel good when you got access to health care. You don't feel good when your neighborhoods are safe. You don't feel good when the air is clean. You don't feel good when the water is clean. You don't feel good when you get something for your taxes. No, you feel bad. That is crazy. You feel bad when you get something, when your taxes work for you. You feel bad when the citizens are the bosses. That is backwards. That is backwards. Since when in a democracy, capitalistic democracy, are the citizens not the bosses?
The United States is sliding into fascism under Donald Trump. And it is marginalised communities who are going to pay the price. Black-skinned and brown-skinned people, migrants in the US, women in the US, transgender and queer folks in the US, they're going to be persecuted and they're going to be
Handicapped people, you're going to be persecuted in the US. Watch, Trump already said it. They got some sort of statement where he said he was wishing that one of his own relatives that was handicapped would just die. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy is cruel.
demonised, blamed for all the problems of the day. And you know what else is going to pay the price? Nature is going to pay the price under his drill baby drill policies of destroying nature. Climate is going to pay the price, as we're already seeing a withdrawal from global climate action. President Trump is a disaster for humanity. He belongs behind bars, not in the Oval Office.
Now, this isn't the first time that we've seen an international leader as blunt in their condemnation of America's leader. And with Trump's quest to annex Canada, occupy Greenland, the Panama Canal, and Gaza, the need for more leaders to resist is only growing stronger.
Donald Trump has appointed Nazi-saluting billionaire Elon Musk to take a hatchet to public services. He started by shutting down with immediate effect the US Agency for International Aid. I've had development experts in my office today telling me that this means today kids in Timor aren't getting a breakfast. Women across the Pacific have lost access to reproductive health care. That's Trump, that's Doge, and that's Musk at work. So what does a Dutton government offer? The same attitude. 36,000 jobs gone out of the public sector. But he doesn't say who, he doesn't say what, and he doesn't say that he will instead direct billions of public dollars in a massive stream of profit.
There's no oversight at all. So right now, you're happy with no oversight. You don't know who those people are, and that is the crazy thing about it. You don't have any idea of who's being affected, how much. There's no oversight. And if states follow, which they usually do, the federal government, what do you think? How do you think that's going to play out? Yeah. I mean, things have to be the way they have to be, the way people want them.
To his big corporate mates, the consultants, the labour hire companies, at 3 times the cost. Conflicts of interest. Instead of climate department, we'll have the big 4 writing climate policy while servicing the world's biggest fossil fuel producers.
Dear President Trump, listen very carefully. Greenland has been part of the Danish kingdom for 800 years. It's an integrated part of our country. It is not for sale. Let me put words you might understand. Mr. Trump, fuck off.
Across Europe, for instance, government officials are literally putting in place safeguards to prevent a replica of what has happened here in the United States taking course in their own respective country.
Exactly. Now, American citizens, you need to understand this. Other people aren't doing what you're doing. See, so because you didn't take corruption seriously, especially in those red states where you broke asses live, where you people that pay less into the system, where you people, because you get paid less and you earn less, not to demean you, but just to put some reality to it, where you all supported this man to rip you off, to rip your children off, to put them even more in debt than you're already in. way more in debt. How long do you think it's going to take to pay back these mistakes? How far do you think Trump is going to go? Do you know how far Trump took the debt last time? What do you think is going to happen with Congress? Do you think anything's good? They're going to do anything? Look, they can pass a budget without the Democrats. They can pass a budget without the Democrats. They can. But you know who they're going to give the tax breaks to. And you know they're going to give tax breaks to those billionaires who don't pay taxes already. And they're going to leave you with the trillions of dollars of debt that they gave them. I mean, I don't know how you could be happy with that, but European countries don't want their sovereignty destroyed. They don't want a troll coming into their society spreading disinformation, paying people for votes. They don't want people meddling that way. They don't want business people that are going to undermine their society and their way of life. Americans wanted that. They voted for someone to come in and change their society, their way of life. Elon Musk, because he don't follow rules, because Trump has no respect for rules, you don't know if he's about to release some damn robots on you. You don't know that. You don't know it all. And the last time I checked, robots tend it seems like they tend to want to make them to do a whole lot of shit that human beings are supposed to be doing. So red states, I don't know what jobs you think you might have down there, but I don't know what kind of industry you want to support, but Elon Musk may not be the one you want, you know. But make one thing, just understand one thing. Other countries don't want it. Nothing to do with him and nothing he got to bring. They got their own engineers in their homegrown countries. They don't need a immigrant billionaire to come and take over their society like Americans apparently need. Because if you don't feel like you need that and you don't stand up with that, you would never let Trump get away with it. You know, this is low. You don't like it? This is low. This is low. This is low.
You can always take your Nazi salutes and your masculine energy and go back home. To Musk, Zuckerberg, and company, we have a market of millions of users that provide money to your companies. But we also love protecting our citizens' democracies by making laws. If you don't like it, you can always take your Nazi salutes and your masculine energy and go back home. Viva.
You hear that? You hear that? They said it very simple. How come Americans don't have the power to tell them that? Americans ain't talking like that. Americans are kissing their butts. And I'm talking about the representatives. All those representatives, the majority of the representatives in Congress, in the Senate, are kissing these people's asses like they can't survive without their money. But the taxpayers make way more money. The U.S. taxpayers are the ones that should be in charge. It's your money. It's your money. Don't sleep on that. Nobody have to push you around for your money. You're not controlling the billionaires anymore. The billionaires are controlling you. That's what's going on right now. And these folks worried about getting scammed. Elon has all that. He's the main damn scam. Exactly. What are they talking about? Look, power corrupts. That's what it does. When unchecked, it corrupts. So you don't have a choice but to check power. But when you don't check it, don't be upset when it permeates and corrupts more people, because that's the nature of it. You can see that's exactly what's happening with Musk. They're going to corrupt every person around them. That's their whole angle. Bribing people, bullying people, corrupting people, getting people to harm other people so they have dirt over those people's heads, you know, holding the job over their head, finding out what their problems are. I mean, this guy's about to shake down a lot of people. And I'm sorry, if the police, FBI, civil servants, if you all are going to let this happen, then you are not patriots. You are not patriots. You don't give a damn about the United States of America, and you don't give a damn about the people before you. You know, like straight up. I'm just saying it like that. Now, I know all civil servants ain't going for this bullshit. That's for damn sure. But I'm just saying it, we're going to find out who are patriots, versus who is just, a walking monkey, a walking ape, like really. Because, a human being should be able to know when something's not right, when you're being invaded, when you're being taken over. Matter of fact, I meant to pull up the Planet of the Apes clip, actually. let this play, boy.
Europa hoy más que nunca.
Yes, it appears allowing a billionaire to spend 250 plus million to sway an election while adding 200 billion more to his net worth in the aftermath, while gaining access to voters' database, is something other nations are not willing to let happen on their watch. I know, imagine that.
Der er mange, der har spurgt, hvad fanden går det ud på sådan helt lavpraktisk? Hvordan ser det ud? Hvad sker der? Hvad gør man?
Well, what is that? Okay. Let's see here. Yeah.
The inauguration of a man
happen on their watch.
Ideology embodies everything. We witnessed the inauguration of a man whose ideology embodies everything the EU was found to reject. The EU cannot just stand for our values when it is easy. It matters most when it comes at a cost. And standing up to Trump will come with a cost, but is much less than the cost of letting this poison win. And I am done with the niceties from EU leaders to Trump while his tech bro buddies call for our laws to be undermined. I am done with the Taoiseach of Ireland, with our historic understanding of immigration and oppression, promoting Trump's golf links in County Clare in response to his inauguration. And I am done with the so-called strong men who, if they had to live for one day in the shoes of an immigrant, a woman, or a transgender person, would quiver with fear. Anyone who believes in the founding principles of the EU should be appalled by what we witnessed yesterday. I am appalled, so I resist, and Europe must resist because our history demands it.
Well, thankfully for us here in the United States, there are representatives who share the same tenacity as the likes of Senator McKim here.
Nazis lost the war because they stood alone, essentially. They didn't have enough allies, and that's what happened to them. They got too bold, too big for their britches, and they ended up caving in, tried to bite off more than they could chew, essentially. And that's definitely what could easily happen, and I don't see, I don't know how much planning Elon Musk and Trump and them really been doing, because they have a way of, in a way, I think, going for things that are a bit above their heads, like it's a little party, but I wouldn't underestimate them. I would not underestimate them, because see, this type of situation, it's not about can they succeed fully. It's about how much pain are you willing to go through before you stand up. It's about how much pain are American citizens willing to go through themselves personally before they stand up and kick this shit up out of the country. Because there's loads, the majority of Western countries, they don't go for these kind of security risk, and they understand fascism created a lot of problems, and it sold people these pipe dreams that they went around destroying things, killing people, and then had, took off too much, that bit off more than they could chew. Found out that Hitler was just a thief, trying to hide, him and his generals trying to hide all the money they could get while they're selling these pipe dreams to the population, so the population can go die, so the population can die for their pockets. And that's exactly what you MAGA people are. You are just a bunch of people waiting to die for a bunch of rich people that don't give a damn about you. In fact, despise you. You are scum to them. Like, straight up. You are scum. You are a doggy all you get is a doggy biscuit, and you will do anything these billionaires say. Like, that's what it is. That's what it is, yo. Isn't that what they do? That's what it looks like to me. In any case, wow. What's this guy? What's the guy's name? Al Green. Netan. There we go. Al Green gave a real speech about Netanyahu. Let's see here. He really turned it on.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and still I rise, a proud, liberated Democrat, unbossed, unbought, and unafraid. I rise as one who is not a sunshine freedom fighter, one who can stand before the crowds. This is what a sunshine freedom fighter does. Stand before the crowd, plenty of people to surround you and receive the cheers. I believe that there are times when one has to stand alone. And on some issues, it is better to stand alone, Mr. Speaker, than not stand at all. So today, Mr. Speaker, I rise to proclaim February 4th, 2025, as a day that will live in infamy. It was a day when the leaders of two nuclear powers stood next to each other. And these nuclear power representatives, these persons who had the ability to create a nuclear holocaust, something that not even the mind of Dante can imagine. These two persons made comments about Gaza. One person said it would be nice, not in these exact words, to make Gaza a better place for people to live. I'm paraphrasing. But this person went on to talk about how this superpower would take over Gaza and how this power might at some point have the American military to have boots on the ground in Gaza. Not in those exact words. These two superpowers there to work together, and the other said, well, I think this is an idea worth considering, to have the Palestinians move to another location. These two superpowers, the United States of America and Israel, were represented.
Now, let's just understand something. Netanyahu obviously doesn't give a damn about what you MAGA people voted for Trump for. Make America first. Make America great again. You know, obviously, Netanyahu ain't got time for all that bullshit, because he needs to come and talk about make Israel great again. Basically, right? And make Gaza great again. You didn't catch that one at all. But this man gave such a fiery speech. I'm gonna let you
by the President of the United States and the Prime Minister of Israel. Two superpowers are not in the business of saying things without thought, or they shouldn't be if they do. These two superpowers who could operationalize what they say. The United States of America can go into Gaza by and through its military. It can take over Gaza. It can remove the Palestinians from Gaza. The United States of America has already, with our tax dollars, sent money into Israel, munitions to Israel, and Israel has gone into Gaza. Yes, I know why. And yes, I believe that what Hamas did was a dastardly deed. And yes, that should have been redressed. But there's a point at time when your redress becomes an offense as opposed to a defense. And Israel went into Gaza and killed thousands of babies, obliterated schools, destroyed hospitals, infrastructure. Israel, with our tax dollars and some of their own and others perhaps, but our tax dollars, Israel destroyed Gaza. President himself has said that Gaza is no longer habitable. Not in those exact words. Israel, the United States of America, represented by their various agents, now indicating that Gaza can be taken over. But I marveled, quite frankly, at something that happened. The President of the United States of America said, I've talked to everybody, and everybody that I've talked to, they agree. Well, apparently the Saudis didn't agree. Apparently the Jordanians didn't agree. The Egyptians didn't agree. The Europeans didn't agree. There seems to be great disagreement, Mr. President, with what you said you would do in Gaza. And Mr. President, for your...
And where are the MAGA people? Where are the MAGA people? Where do they stand? Or are they just quiet little babies? You know, where do they stand with Make America Great Again? You know, now everyone else is saying it's a bad idea that the U.S. goes in there and spends more money to build up Gaza. And not only that, but just the suggestion of it without including, you know, the Palestinians are the masters of their own fate. So if you don't include them in what's going on, then, and you're telling them to leave, you're in trouble, you know, now, because it's going to, you know, ignite something. But, you know, what is it that MAGA people seem to want now? Because their whole thing was like, end the war. That's what Trump said, end the war, come home. But he didn't say build houses. The rest of the world will build houses. The rest of the world will contribute. Why does Trump need to pay for it all? Why does Trump need to use the U.S. military on civilians? Civilians. Why is he using U.S. military on isn't the U.S. military for fighting wars? What do you want them to build up Israel, Gaza? You don't want them to build up the United States? What's up, Bev?
Hey,
How you
can you
doing?
hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Welcome. Welcome. I can hear
Oh,
you fine.
yeah, this is crazy. Ah, man, I don't know what's going on over here. It's like frustrating. It's so dang frustrating. I'm just through with it. I'm just through with it. It's crazy. I mean, everybody's just letting him do what he wants to do. When are they going to get rid of him? I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm curious about that because I don't see how he has any respect for any law, and that means any state governors, senators, congress people. Trump has no these. I even heard, you know what I heard, Bev? I heard that these Republicans are literally really scared physically of Trump. That's what I heard. I heard is many of them that are like that. I heard they're not even following because they really want to. It's a lot of them feel like what he's doing is wrong, but they're too scared to speak up because they're afraid of physical violence against them. They're afraid of being threatened and having their security pulled too, like straight up. And this is what MAGA support. MAGA vote for people, and they don't even know the situations that their own reps are in, the things that their own reps are saying. Now, they're never going to say it publicly, but they say it to Democratic reps privately. That's what's going on, Beth.
I just read right before I came on here that they're going to arrest Kamala and Joe Biden for what? I don't know.
Hold on. You read that?
Huh?
Or you read that? What do you mean you read it? You just said you read it.
I
What do you mean
just
you read it?
read it. I just read it now.
Oh, where did you
Cash,
read that at?
the little cross-eyed one with the glasses, the
I don't know who
FBI
that.
one. I read it on here when I was looking for the stream.
Oh, you talking about on YouTube? You know.
Yeah.
But listen, You don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard anything like that, but I could tell you, I you could do whatever you want. They could do whatever they want, but I guarantee you this. If they arrest Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, if they do that, they have just taken themselves one step further. The government, Donald Trump, and the people of the United States have taken themselves into a situation that is going to change everything in their lives. And I'm telling you, I said this before a long time ago.
What do you
There,
mean change
there,
everything? I'm
there's a
not
lot
getting
of
it.
there is a lot of people that want the United States broken into pieces. There's a lot of people that benefit from the United States not having 350 million people, maybe just having 100 like other countries have. Break it up into three pieces. Anything so it can't have the type of power that it has. There's a lot of people aiming for that. And then there's a lot of people that don't want other countries to get a foothold in America also. So what I'm saying is that this kind of stuff, those kind of activities lead people closer and closer to that, because the problem is that all left people are not going to sit down and just watch this. They're not going to think that way. If you can just go around and start arresting people for nothing just because they're your political opponents, it is going to start civil unrest.
Oh yeah. I don't
So
know.
if
This
that's
is
what if
crazy.
that and I'm quite sure that there's some people that might want some civil unrest, but that's the kind of things that could cause it, and that's the kind of thing that could cause other nations to pay closer attention and to now think about this. The Russians have already been allowed to run around inside of the United States freely. They've been allowed to run around there. They're not in their uniforms, but they're there running around. People that are connected with the Russian government, spies and everything. You see what I mean? So you could expect a lot more attention. Maybe and not just from them, but from different groups, different people around it. Because, this is people don't, people that have the money and have the power, they don't sleep on opportunity. Not an opportunity to gain and not an opportunity to defend while others are in chaos. You see, so
I
that's
don't
just my theory. Well, go ahead, Bev.
no, I was just gonna say, I don't know what's going on. It's some kind of stuff going on here. Everybody's catching. They don't know what the hell it is.
Oh, you're
And
talking about sickness, flu, this kind of
yeah,
new
yeah.
disease going around.
I think because Trump has pissed everybody off. I don't usually say this, but I don't know. I think that put some kind of what you call that. I was saying it. I was saying it today. They're doing some kind of germ warfare on us.
I mean,
They out to get us because that made me think of it when you said they don't want to see the American people. I mean, it's stuff
yeah.
going here all over the country. People are getting sick, and I'm telling you,
The
this
government,
stuff.
the United States government used to be the agency that protected taxpayers, was there for taxpayers when they're in their time of need. They meant business. They were a well organized machine. Maybe some money gets wasted because of corruption here and there, but Trump ain't going to find that, because Trump is one of those people loving corruption, benefits from corruption. You see what I mean? So, but look, I'm just saying, weakness invites problems. And right
Yeah,
now, the United States is weak. Trump is making it weak. He is creating chaos. He's firing the people that's supposed to defend you, the CIA, the
that's what I'm
FBI.
saying. He took us
Why is
out of
he doing that?
the
Why is
who.
he firing the people that are there to protect you from foreign governments, from people inside of inside the country and outside? He's
That's
disabling
my
the
point.
defense. Yeah, exactly. He's
That's my
inviting
point.
trouble.
He took us out of the who. He won't let the CDC talk with him. Now all of a sudden, it's this airborne virus that's going around. Nobody can tell you what it is. Nobody can tell you what it is. Because I asked him, I said, what is this? I am so sick. I can't breathe. I can't do nothing. And I had an asthma attack on top of it. We don't know what it is, but you have it. That to me, that's scary.
That is very
It's
scary.
scary.
That is very
That's real
scary.
scary. He took us out of the World Health Organization. He took us out of the CDC. The CDC warns us when there's stuff around. He's trying to close down the National Institute of Health. And now there's a virus going around.
And
Nobody
listen,
knows what it is, and it's
and
airborne.
yep, and you know something? I guarantee you, I guarantee you, this is the thing, this is the same thing that happened last time. Trump let the COVID just go there, roll out. He was ambiguous about it. He was indecisive about it, and other countries took action. Now, luckily, Biden came into the picture. Luckily, Biden came in, and luckily, COVID came at the end of Trump's term. You see what I mean? Luckily, because if it came at the beginning, you have to deal with 4 years of an imbecile, a person who doesn't want to help people, a person who doesn't believe in science, and a person that only thinks about his own welfare first before. And that is just horrible. But look, let me play some of this. You talking about this?
The CDC is warning of an overall high level of respiratory illnesses in the US, and this is fueling concerns of what is called a quademic. It's an outbreak of COVID, the flu, RSV, and norovirus all at the same time. Yikes. Dr. Diane Hess joins us now in Studio 57 to help us understand what this all means. Thanks for being with us and joining us. I can't tell you how many people I know who are either on vacation, got the norovirus or have RSV, and there's so much of this bouncing around. Let's just quickly look at the CDC data to show some unusual trends. ER visits for RSV and COVID are trending downward. We hope to show this to you, but just imagine a line going down. And then visits for the flu are going up. Why is that?
It's just seasonal. So, RSV was peaking a little bit earlier, and now it's going down. Same with COVID, and it's flu season, and it's very contagious. And the flu vaccine rates this year have only been about 43%. So people are getting the flu, and even I definitely have patients who've gotten the flu with the flu vaccine, but they're sick for 2 or 3 days. They're not ending up in a hospital.
Yeah, and so now people are worried about where are they gonna be able to get these kind of basic things covered, or are they going to be out in the window? Let's
I'm telling you, that's exactly what I'm talking about. You got all of this. Whatever this is, they said I got it. They said I got RSV, and then I had an asthma attack. I had it all. It hit me all at the same time. I haven't had an asthma attack since I was 18. And it's
That's
killing
terrible.
me. I'm still not feeling as good as I should.
Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. I wonder how many
So I
people
think
have
they
that.
did this on purpose. People are mad with Trump. Trump just
I mean,
goes around and picks it. He just does
look,
shit to people for no reason. Did
and
you hear that he wants to bring South African refugees, white South African refugees, to let them come as refugees when he's putting people out, brown people out?
right. So MAGA, is that what you want? Is that what MAGA voted for? Is that whatever happened to you getting some jobs? How are you going to get jobs when other people coming to get the jobs, MAGA? Wasn't that the whole reason why you want to kick the people who are closest to you out? I mean, Canadians, Mexicans, that's why you're going to a trade war, because you don't like the people, the other Catholics, the other Christians. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's so funny. People that have the same history as the US, right? Pilgrims and all, right? Colonial nations and all, African slavery and all, Africans being enslaved and all, women not having the right to vote and all. Only, this kind of shared history. And yet these people want to bring in Europeans from South Africa, that came 100 years ago, whatever, 80. It's like, what is going on? And MAGA doesn't stand for shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But
They don't.
there ain't nothing to be sorry. I feel the same way. But this is what I want to know. if they do take Trump out of office, which I feel they are because he's going off the deep end, well, all of them MAGA nuts, Musk, and all of them, will all of them go with him if they take him out of
If
office?
they don't get
Or
rid
will
of,
stuff
they,
them?
if they do not get rid of Elon Musk and Trump, and they don't go back to some strict constitutional law, you see what they did here, Beverly? I'm sorry, it's like the courts. They even messed with the courts. So the first order of business is clean up the court. There have to be ethics and there have to be punitive damages for corruption on the courts. They have to be held to the same standard as congressional members and senators. Then the other thing at the same time is the voting. The voting. Like they have to stop all this voter suppression, because what's the point in getting rid of Trump and Elon Musk if you're going to allow the same type of corruption to take over your country again? And that happened because of a lot of the voter suppression and the disinformation by Elon Musk. So those things have to be alleviated, you know.
So,
Then
so
go ahead.
no, go ahead. What you were gonna say?
No, but I was going to say those are the first thing. But and then also part of the first thing is hire all those people that got fired by Trump, hire them back immediately with their job and compensate them for whatever damages, because we need people protecting our asses. Yo, listen, let me tell you, black people, Americans, gangs, these people that want to be associated with gangs and all that. Let me tell you, you don't want the Russian mafia taking over the United States. And you definitely don't want no fascists, because you will just be sellouts to a fascist government. You see what I mean? If you're in the business of taking handouts and just selling dope just because you need to get a new Bentley, you're going to be a sellout in this situation. So people need to start thinking about the seriousness of what's going on. And again,
I
I
don't
can't
think they know
emphasize this. Weakness attracts trouble. And the U.S. is attracting trouble because it looks weak under Donald Trump. Elon Musk being there proves that it's weak. And those Congress people show that they're corrupt. The Congress people in the Republican Party, they are showing contempt with corruption and with treason. All right, Bev, I'm going to give you the last word. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm gonna, because what I was gonna say. Did you see where Sonia May or whatever her name is? I can't even talk right now, but they're going back and looking at what they did with this immunity thing with Trump, because it's like he's not paying attention. So, do you think they'll reverse that
They're
if
gonna.
he
Oh,
gets?
that has to be a first order of business. Once they get Trump out of office and once they deal with the Supreme Court corruption, that's got to be one of the first orders of business. Like they have to, first of all, any Supreme Court justice that has been there has to be not just removed if they've been involved in corruption, but all the new ones, the ones that remain, and Congress, they must agree on ethics, rules, and regulations and punitive damages when violating them for any judge, for any reason, and there needs to be reform. These old judges, they don't need to be doing they don't need to be meddling in shenanigans like Trump cases. They need to stay their ass. The Supreme Court, stay the older ones, the ones that have been around for a while, so that because the longer you've been around, the more likely it is you've been corrupt. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. So that to limit corruption, you need to limit access that these judges have and the power that they have to rule over cases. They
And,
shouldn't be allowed to just throw their magic wand anywhere they want to. Go
and
ahead.
just one more thing.
No.
One more thing. Will they get rid of what's I gonna say? They'll get rid of like Clarence Thomas and all
Oh,
of
he
that,
gonna have to
right?
go. He violated the ethics clause. I mean, it would be a crime if somebody in Congress did it. It would be a crime. He would
Would
be expelled. He would be
he would
expelled.
be
But
expelled.
exactly, he would be expelled. And whatever else comes up, it could be. You never know. But
And will
yeah.
they
So
will they put Roe v. Wade back on the back
I don't
like it
know.
was?
But I know one thing for sure: the 14th Amendment calls for forward motion in terms of not only combating, or correcting damages in discrimination, right? Punitive damages towards people that discriminate, but they need to be proactive in terms of combating the concept, the ideas that people are left with. Find ways to combat the mental aspect of discrimination, like what is making people stay stuck in a cycle where they feel like they have to do this because it doesn't make sense. You don't make money that way. You're not progressing the society that way. Everyone can stay to themselves if you want, but you have to understand that people have to be treated fairly. Still, you free to go home to your neighborhood and to your home and be by yourself, but people shouldn't be locked out of the American dream. And for far too many people like African Americans, ourselves, and others, the middle class is being locked out of the American dream. And Elon Musk is the epitome of it. Donald Trump being the president, a billionaire himself, is the epitome of it. It's not just racist, it's classist. It's not just misogynistic, it's classist. And for broke ass Americans, middle class, who pay all these taxes and whine about it, for these people, Republican or Democrat, to be accepting this, you have to be out of your damn mind. Billionaires running your country is not how you're going to get your fair share. It's how you're going to get robbed. You're going to get robbed at every situation possible.
And this is my last question. Do you think 2026 people will wake up and vote the way they should have voted?
Oh, they will. Yeah, they will. If Americans, if the longer it takes, I think they will. But Americans shouldn't wait, because there's all kinds of people want to put salt in your game. Let me just tell you, outside of the U.S., a lot of people wish they were American, but when they see Americans go for this shit, they laugh. That's when they realize, haha, there's something different about them from Americans, because they wouldn't make the same mistakes that Americans are making right now. MAGA people. There's other people outside that wouldn't make the same mistakes you're making. You broke asses. That's the truth.
Right.
Yeah, they broke asses. They're the laughing stock. They're the laughing stock of the Western world. MAGA is. And everybody's looking down on them because they know racism does not produce a dollar anymore. You see, only getting along and working together. That's where the power is these days. They're about to be ass out. But Bev, I'm gonna give you the last word, and then I'm
we gotta we gotta go. I gotta go too. My throat is starting to hurt again.
I'm gonna be back tomorrow.
This is crazy. This is crazy. I hope everything you're right. I like this new platform you're on.
Okay, thank you. It's called OneStream. It's called OneStream.
Yeah, is it free?
No. I wish it was. It might be a little cheaper than StreamYard. I don't know, or it might be the same as StreamYard. But I felt like checking out something new, so I don't like.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, StreamYard, they up their prices, so I was like, well, let me check something else out.
Way too high.
Yeah, so I appreciate this platform. All right, but I'm gonna catch up with everybody. Thanks for hopping up, Bev.
Good night.
You too. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm glad you're feeling better. I appreciate everybody. I'm out. I'm gonna catch up with y'all tomorrow night. Stay tuned. Be cool and let me know how it's going. All right. Blessings, y'all. One.
Us now in Studio 50, and to help us understand what this all means, thanks for being with us and joining us. I can't tell you how many people I know